Hey everybody, just give me 1 minute here. I'm just gonna fuel up really quick. Alright, let's do it. Hi, again. I said hello already, but hello again. I'm Ryan, and I'm here with another video for you. Here, we're gonna talk about Cyberpunk 2077, the ongoing catastrophe of a game launch that just seems to continue. There has been various updates every few weeks or so. We just got one last week and another one today. We got update 1.10 and now 1.11. Funny enough, I'm pretty sure the primary focus of update 1.11 is just to fix a game-breaking bug from update 1.10. Which, forgetting the headache for a second that this might be causing you, that's just hysterical. Come on. That's a little fun. That's a little funny. Of course, if you were affected by it, I'm so sorry, and I don't mean that to make fun of you or anything. I just that's kind of funny. Be honest. Come on. So I'm gonna briefly go over what happened in update 1.10 and what update 1.11 does, and then I'm gonna give you my thoughts and analysis on the ever interesting conversations surrounding Cyberpunk 2077. Let's do it right now. Forgive me, I can't read that well apparently. You're gonna learn that as I stumble over my words here. So I'm not gonna go over everything, but I will go over a couple of things just as I see fit. So right here, under stability, we have memory usage improvements in various systems within the game, characters, interactions, navigation, in-game videos, news, TV, etc., foliage, laser effects, minimap, devices, AI, street traffic, environmental damage, GPU related, and more. Various crash fixes related to, among others, loading saves, game opening / closing, and point of no return. I would also add driving. Driving just seemed to plague my experience more than anything else in the game. I don't know what even those other things are that are causing crashes, but me was just driving. Anytime I was driving for more than a few minutes, there was just a crash. And it was really cool that the game could fail at such a quick rate there. But that was for me what was a big crashing issue or causing crashing. Did I say that right? That makes sense? Quest / open world fixed an issue where calls from Delamain would end immediately and seems like they cannot be picked up in epistrophe? Am I saying that right? Fixed an issue where players would not receive calls from Delamain when approaching relevant vehicles in the word from before, epistrophe, that quest with Delamain. Fixed an issue where the objective would get stuck on answer the call from Mr. Hands in Maptan Pelen. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I think I got it. Fixed an issue where Judy could teleport underground in Pyramid Song. Moving ahead to UI, fixed an issue where prompts for exiting Braindance could be missing, removed an invalid item from loot. Visual, fixed an issue where Grenade's trajectory could be displayed in photo mode. Fixed particles hue appearing pink when viewed close up. Achievements, fixed an issue where completing one of the assaults in progress in Santo Domingo would sometimes not contribute toward progression for the jungle achievement, preventing its completion. Miscellaneous, fixed an issue where input could stop registering upon opening the weapon wheel and performing an action. Fixed an issue where the continue button in the main menu could load an end game save. PlayStation specific, performance optimization, PlayStation specific, performance, see what I mean? I can't read, folks. PlayStation specific, performance optimization of crowds on PlayStation 4 Pro and PlayStation 5. Various crash fixes on PlayStation 4. You can also add some in PlayStation 5, that'd be nice too. Xbox specific, improved memory usage for character creation, mirrors, scanning, camera and remote control menus, inventory map on Xbox One, Xbox One X, and Xbox One S. PC specific, it will now be possible to obtain achievements while in Steam offline mode. Note, offline mode needs to be enabled before starting the game. This change does not work retroactively. Address the game's startup crashes related to loading cache on NVIDIA graphics card. And then there's some Stadia specific stuff, but okay, so then they have just today, there was hotfix 1.11 or patch 1.11. This update addressed two issues that appeared after patch 1.1. Now, item randomization has been restored to the previous state, and the save load loot exploit will be investigated further. A bug in Down on the Street quest has been fixed. So the Down on the Street quest, or whatever have you. The issue was basically that Takamura would just not call you. Or it would say wait for Takamura's call and he would just never call you. Or some players were even reporting that he would call you, but then he just wouldn't say anything, which there seemed to be no fix or workaround. So there you have it. Those are two major updates. Now, I want to talk about two things here really quickly before I go. One, the reason I haven't been updating you or talking about a lot of these little news tidbits that come to Cyberpunk 2077 is, to be honest, if you followed every single news bulletin or article about what was going on with Cyberpunk 2077 or the issues surrounding it, you would never sleep, because it just seems every day or every week there's something new coming out. And look, who's got all the time to cover that? These companies, CD Projekt Red included, they're gonna screw up way more than you're ever gonna have time for or ever have time to cover. So sometimes it's worth it just to be a passive observer and just read as everyone else is what's going on. And I also look at it this way: if I don't cover it, somebody else will, and probably better than I will anyway. Number two, while I do appreciate all these updates, and I think it's great that they are still supporting the game and fixing it, which I expected them to, or we expected them to, which is fine. I think it's good that they're still doing it, but to me, there's just fundamental underlying issues with Cyberpunk 2077 that go beyond any bugs or anything else that's going on in the game. Now, what do I mean by that? Sure, you're gonna fix all the bugs and glitches and great. That's great, fantastic. But there's just other things that in the game just don't sit well with me. Now, as someone who enjoyed the game, I want to give that disclaimer right off the bat. I really did enjoy the game. I did like it. I'm not gonna sit here and take that back, because I did review it and I did say overall that I liked it, but I just couldn't recommend anyone purchase it or buy it just based on the state it's in. And honestly, to this day, I tell everybody who is interested or seems interested to wait, because there's just a fundamental underlying issue with this game that I have that I just can't shake, and that keeps me from going back to it. Even after all these updates, I'm still probably going to hold off going back to it for very specific reasons that I'm going to outline for you really quickly. See, beyond all the bugs and everything, there's just a major flaw that this game has. It's just that there's nothing going on in the game. There's like nothing, and I know that sounds silly, because there's plenty of content, there's tons of stuff going on, there's tons of stuff to do, there's tons of quests to do, there's hours and hours of content. I spent 50 hours myself in the game, but part of the reason that I don't go back to it, and I haven't played it since I beat it, is because I don't feel like anything's going on in the world. Like, there's no organic conversation happening or organic chemistry between you and the game world. It just feels like that beyond what you're doing in the world, there's nothing going on. And I know, again, that sounds marginal at best, that's silly, maybe you don't want that or have expected that, but the best open worlds are ones that you think about and that you feel like you've made an impact on, or that are existing without your direct input. Take like a Red Dead Redemption 2, for example. Now, that game, you could argue there are some issues as far as the fact that they took away some control from the player for the sake of cinematic storytelling. That's fine, whatever. Not talking about that game per se, just in the sense that that game felt like alive as far as an open world. And I'm not saying that they're the same game, but they're similar enough to say that there's just nothing going on in the game world in Cyberpunk. There's a lot of, feels like at least a lot of content missing. A lot of things that are just cut or feel like they've been cut. A lot of just lacking of interaction. Beyond quests and stuff, there's really nothing else to do. You can't call up your relationship or your girlfriend in the game, be it Pan Am or Judy or one of the other romances. You can't call them up and say, hey, let's go out, like you could in like a GTA or what have you. Now, again, I realize I'm probably the only one that simps for Pan Am here. Well, not the only one that simps for Pan Am, but the only one that wants to simp for Pan Am and wants to simp for her constantly, where I want to go out with her all the time. I get it. That's just me. That's just me. But what I mean by that is that there just seems to be a disconnect between the organic feeling that you get from being in the game world and the feeling that you actually are impacting the world. So they can fix the game as much as they want. They can put in all these bug fixes and everything, but I think until there's substantial updates that either fix UI problems and AI problems and even add things back into the game that either were cut or weren't there to begin with, I can't really tell you that there's a substantial reason to go back and to play this game. Because while I really enjoyed it, I didn't really like it enough to tell you that it's worth going back to multiple times or what have you. Anyway, I realized I was kind of rambly and maybe that just went off in 30 different directions here, but that's again part of the reason why I don't really cover these updates and these news updates, because honestly I just don't find them that interesting. I think they're middling of the road at best as far as what they offer, and I think this game, as far as what it offers, is middling of the road at best. Again, not trying to take back what I said in my review, I really did like the game. I'll link that down below if you want to watch it. I stand by everything I said in that review, but I just can't recommend playing this game just now. I think if you have it and you're enjoying it, great, keep playing it, if it works at least. If not, then not. But that's really going to do it for me. Again, I'm sorry if this sounded rambly. I just wanted to give my thoughts on the situation surrounding Cyberpunk up to date, at least up to this date. And I'm sure I'll have more to say as the story develops. But for now, this is all I got. And, yeah. And of course, how could I forget to just say, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. If you liked the content that you saw and you want to see more like it, think about subscribing, or actually subscribe. Don't just think about it, do it. Be a man or a person of action. Be a person of action. Thanks for watching. Love you. Peace.